We are live at Studio B. This is your day-to-day BYU sports play-by-play. I'm Spencer Linton alongside Jerem Jordan, that ultimate competitor, the leader of the headband movement for BYU basketball.
Where them headbands at?
Is with us in Studio B. Richie Saunders back at BYU.
Baby.
Richie,
Good to be back. Good to be back.
how would you explain your life in just the past month?
It's been absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know exactly how to just put words to it, but like earth-shattering, right? Like, just something I never thought would happen has happened. We'll get into the details of that, I'm sure. But
Okay, tell us more about that. What is it that you didn't think would happen happened?
well, first off, about about 3 weeks or so.
3-4 weeks, yeah.
We finally got to a spot where we're like ready. Like me and my wife were like, let's go, let's get to it, and start working towards next year. And then great opportunity for Coach Pope. He steps away and like
Turns everything upside down.
exactly right. Like we enter. I just want to say, like, first off, like me and my wife, like it has been such a blessing to have her through it all, right? Like we spent a lot of time in the temple, we spent a lot of time praying and just really trying to figure it out together. We felt like we needed to step in the portal, and which was hard, like, so I didn't think that would ever happen. We stepped in the portal and to just really, as you can probably see, right? Like we just really had to see what was our next move, what was best for us, and we really did feel like we needed to step into the portal, and all the emotions and stuff that come from that. We took some visits. We looked around at some other schools, and like it's cool because there's a lot of cool opportunities everywhere, and ultimately like. It's been about a week, 10 days. Me and my wife, we were in Central America. We were really trying to make this decision on if we stay or if we go somewhere else. And it was so hard.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to put it into words, but it was so hard.
I could sense that in your words and even in your post. Like, this was a real struggle.
Yeah.
What was hardest about it?
I love BYU. And I've been the kid at the top of the bleachers or top of the Marriott Center looking down, just praying and just wanting so badly for BYU to win, right? Like, I've been there. But the fact that I just didn't know if that was where God needed us to be, like that right there alone was just like really, really hard. Thinking about having to start somewhere else and kind of have to move me and my wife, like all those little details, because we've loved it here, right? Like we've absolutely loved it here, and we wanted to just make the right choice. We wanted to just do that and had to really just kind of isolate ourselves from like a lot of the outside voices and just figure it out what was best for us. And I just like. It really even took us into when we were sitting in Guatemala in this hotel, and we're just had this little push of just, we need to stay. And I mean, a lot has led up to that, right? But there was just the slightest of little promptings that like, we got to stay. And the other thing is it was cool opportunities like everywhere, and we could actually see ourselves in these different spots. But now that it's been 10 days or so, like it's been awesome. It's been such a relief to be back here. It's been awesome. Right?
And no one blames you for jumping in the portal. Your coach leaves. You have the right to do so.
Yeah.
Also, what's your worth on and off the court, right? As you look around, you take the visit to Kentucky. There's a photo at the airport that got around there. What was that visit like? And ultimately, you choose to come to BYU. When you go to Kentucky, we're thinking, hey, that'd be a great opportunity for Richie.
Yeah,
but
right.
we're stoked you're coming back, of course. What did you learn in that process, in that visit, and the visits you took?
Like it could not have gone any better. Like if I'm just saying it, like Leanne Pope is one of my favorite people in the world, and like I almost get a little emotional about thinking about that. But like, like it was a really cool opportunity. Like it could have been really cool, and we could totally see ourselves there. Having Pope and Feegs and knowing that system and knowing that I fit in there. Like during the way that they work stuff, and like what an opportunity, you know, and like we didn't take that lightly at all. It's not like we were just like, oh, that was cool, right? But like it was actually something that was, like it was really cool there, and I know that they're going to be extremely successful. If I know the Popes, I know that they're going to work harder than a lot of people, right, to get to win, and I know that they're going to do that. And I'm sure we'll talk about the other side of that, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
Then the news breaks that BYU has hired Kevin Young, the highest paid assistant coach in the NBA, which the two of us, when we first heard his name, were like, pipe dream. There's no way, right?
Exactly.
And then it happened. So you get that news, and you're on a Zoom call with him a few minutes after that news breaks. What's that moment like for you when now one of the big questions is answered?
Yeah, right. Like, because it was totally, at that stage, we're just gathering information. Right, we're trying to figure out this side, and the BYU side. But as I was talking to Danny Ainge, like maybe 3 or 4 days before that, like just like, this is the guy you want. I don't know if you can get, if they're gonna get him, but this is the guy you want. And he listed off just how incredible, like how highly he thinks of him. And so when we heard that, like it was really cool, right? And talking to him, it's, you know, he's there, like he speaks in a really cool way, where he's straight to the point, and he's talking business, and he's talking how like what he thinks about being here, and like where he saw me and all that, and you know, like I'm excited to see what it looks like, because there's still unknowns, right? It's fun to see him in the office. It's been cool to see him like in the BYU gear and stuff now, right? Like there's still a lot of stuff that we're gonna see, but I have faith in Bisont and Brian Santiago and Tom Homo and like all the people that have put this in place, and right, like I have full confidence that this is gonna be incredible. I wouldn't be here like if I didn't think so, right?
Yeah, and we're stoked you're back, man. Dive into a little more of some of the factors that influenced you, because certainly BYU offers an experience that isn't merely on the court. It is the spiritual element, and then there's also great connections relative to your life after. What role did some of those factors play for you?
No, I definitely think that there was factors in that. Like I see the BYU Network and Cougar Nation as credible. Like I don't know if there's anything like it. So widely all over the nation, all over the world. You know, like I thought of that, but I really tried to just think about, like we kind of did isolate ourselves. I have to make sure that was said, like, because, you know, like it's hard. Like I love this place, right? And so we had to kind of step away from all the emotions of it.
So you wanted to make sure that you made a clear decision, unfettered by maybe other voices that obviously would be pro BYU or whatever?
Exactly.
Gotcha. You and your wife?
Yeah.
Awesome.
What has the response been like since you announced that you were coming back?
Other than Spence and Shep wearing headbands.
No, I actually saw that.
Way too tight.
Somebody sent me that, and I was like laughing. We loved it. Like, I was still out of the country at that point. But to answer your question, right? Like, it's been awesome. You know, I'm super grateful for the love that and the understanding that Cougar Nation has had even as I stepped into the portal. You know, like I stay away from a lot of the outside voices. Like I just, as we're on the court and stuff, we have to just step away because there's such good stuff, and then there's some not great stuff, right? And so I don't see a lot of the stuff, but even in, as we're in Belize, our taxi driver was somehow a fan of BYU basketball. And
really?
Me, and,
awesome. He knew about you?
Yeah, like somehow, I don't know.
He's like, are you going to BYU?
Like,
what did he tell you?
Well, just that. Like he just like I was just like, oh yeah, we're Richie and this is my wife Sierra. He's like oh, like give me a chance, like Richie Saunders from that plays basketball, which is so random. And I don't know how in the world that ever happened. That doesn't happen.
No way.
But it just happened to be that, right? But
that's wild.
You know, like it's been really cool and fun to be back and to be able to move forward with this and move forward with our lives. And yeah, like, but I have to say that, like, I mean, this is what 12 days after or something that that we made the decision. like we totally just, Tyson Jex is our media guy, and it was just like, Tyson, like we're out of the country. We gotta just isolate her. Like we just gotta put everything away. We'll step back into it on.
And then the cab driver's like, "You're Richie Saunders." You're like, "I came to South America to get away from this." That's so funny.
But
Dallin Hall makes his announcement relatively shortly after you do, and he told us in a conversation a few days ago, yeah, when Richie and I both entered the portal, like, hey, let's stay in contact, let's do this, and he's like, and then we kind of just like lost contact.
Yeah.
We were isolated, so it was a weird dynamic. But you know, when you announce and then you see Dallin decide to come back, what emotions did that carry with it to see that Dallin had decided to come back and join you?
Yeah, like I think I was on the phone with him. He was one of my first calls after the hard calls and the great calls. I think I called him and was just like just talking it out with him, because we did kind of isolate ourselves, because it is like a personal thing. I mean, it all works together eventually, but then we were on the phone and it was like just hearing like, yeah, like I think we're close, and then to see it come out, and he texted me and said he's in, like it was awesome, right? Like, because it just means that we're ready to freaking move forward. And not just have a rebuild, but like we're doing this thing.
Core's back.
That's the quote of the day, by the way. We are ready to freaking move forward. I love it, dude. I love it.
Richie, it's understated, but we're thrilled to have you back at BYU, and
hair's looking good, by the way.
We appreciate you taking us through the
long now.
The flow is good.
It's ready for kind of where
perfect for a headband, Richie. Perfect for a headband. I've got it in a special place in my house, by the way. I'll break that thing.
Richie told us you have to stretch them out.
Hey, I'll break it out again.
No, literally, as you can't think. But no, I want to make sure that like it's said that like like throughout it all, like it's been really impactful, and the way me and my wife have like really like I feel like we've grown together throughout the this hard time, and grown closer to God like throughout it all, and super grateful to be back here and to go do something special, because like it's coming, like we're working, like it's fun to be in the gym. It's May whatever, and they got a lot of guys in the gym, and we're putting in the work, and there should be no low rebound expectations. Like we're coming for this thing.
I love that perspective and the faith and prayer element. Yeah, it resonates for sure. Richie, welcome back, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for spending some time with us.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Richie.